Hello, so this is Genetics Part 2 from Life Science Pathfinder book for CSIR Net, and today we are going to start with classical genetics. So 1.1 Mendel's principles. So Gregor Johann Mendel, he is called the father of genetics. He published in 1865 with the title Experiments on Plant Hybridization in the journal called The Proceedings of the Brune Society of Natural History. And today we know his postulates as Mendel's laws. And these were actually rediscovered in 1900 by three scientists, namely Hugo de Vries of Holland, Karl Correns of Germany, and Erich Tesmark of Austria. Mendel, discovered that the individual traits are inherited as discrete factors and not blended in the progenies of offspring, or on the progenies or in the offsprings of the parental progeny. And the particular term gene was actually coined by Wilhelm Johansen in 1909, and gene is known as the unit of heredity. Well, Mendel chose garden pea, whose scientific name was Pisum sativum, Pisum sativum, Pisum sativum. And why did he choose this? What were its advantages? Well, the advantages, first of all, it had the characters that were out there, they were qualitative and were discrete. This is for example, a plant is short and another is tall, nothing in between. They are easily distinguishable. That is, the characters were discrete and well defined, and the flowers are bisexual. The same particular flower had both anther and stamen, and there is a female and stigma, that is the female reproductive organ. I mean, an ovary. And thirdly, it was um, predominantly does self fertilization. And fourth, it is easy to hybridize it. So from a different plant, from whatever plant we want, or from whatever individual of Pisum sativum we want, we can fertilize another one. And since it is bisexual, as my last point was, so we can self fertilize it too. And it is easy to cultivate and has relatively shorter lifespan or life cycle. So in a single human life cycle, many plants, or in a shorter time, many plants can be grown and many generations can be checked. And the characters that were studied by Mendel were actually qualitative. So they can be easily, they could be distinguished from each other. And so he actually used or studied 7 qualitative traits, and all of them having 2 variants, or actually he studied 7 characters with 2 different traits. So to start with, so he actually used the character called stem length, and which are the traits, that is tall and dwarf. So, and the tall is dominant and the dwarf is recessive. Then there is flower position, among them axial ones, which are at axial positions, they were dominant and the terminal ones are recessive. Then flower color, violet is dominant and white is recessive. Seed coat color, gray is dominant and white is recessive. Pot shape, inflated, and this one is constricted, the recessive ones are constricted. Then pot color, these are green, and green are the dominant ones and the recessive ones are yellow. And the cotyledon color, they are yellow, and the recessive, and the green is the recessive one. And the seed form, actually the dominant one is round and the wrinkled ones are recessive. But one thing, The flower color is actually positively correlated with seed coat color. Seeds with white seed coats were produced by plants that had white flowers, and those with gray seed coat came from plants that had violet flowers.